Hi guys and welcome to Sonic Academy. I'm joined here by Jupiter Race, aka Gregory Ferguson. And just as an added extra to his Artist Series course, which we've just delivered and has got absolutely great response on the website and on YouTube, we're here to sort of quiz Gregory a bit further and maybe clear up some questions that are left unanswered, and to find a wee bit more about your production and how you approach things, why we've got you, and why we can just dig a little deeper. So, I think the first thing that I really took from the course was how simple you made things. It's not cluttered. Is that something you're good at, or work hard, or just comes naturally?
Well, thanks for the compliment, and thanks for
No problem.
asking me to do it. High five, yeah. Yeah, I guess simplicity's key in terms of just not giving yourself a nervous breakdown. So I've always tried to work in that sort of way, and I suppose what you see when I'm doing the tutorial is maybe a distillation, if you like, of the actual process, because the process itself, when I was writing the track in the first place, you know, I took a lot of wrong turnings, and you know, I guess what you see in the tutorial shows all the right turnings.
Yeah. But I think what was key to me was it was there was just a few key elements that you're going, well, in solo these don't sound like much, but add them together. It's that thing that I don't achieve, is what's there is correct.
Well,
is that a hallmark?
I think you're being a bit hard on yourself, but you know, that's exactly what you got to do to make music that sounds good. If you have to be able to have a small number of very strong elements rather than a large number of okay ones, and across the whole, for me, there's people recording rock music and I hear them doing exactly the same thing. You got to get those sounds amazing to start off with, and then when you start to build your layers together, it's going to work easier for you in the long term. So I guess that's the approach I've learned to take over the years.
It's genuine. I mean, I called up an old track that I'm looking at doing a walkthrough for Sonic Academy, and it had 64 tracks. And I was disgusted at myself, going, that's just ridiculous.
Well, I don't know, I mean, Glowing in the Dark, my version of it, my original sequence has more tracks than we ended up with in the tutorial. But I think quite often you could have 60 odd tracks, but they're not going the whole time, are they?
No, absolutely not.
And you can maybe have 10 tracks that are just effects, but they're maybe only hitting once or twice in the track. So
you make me feel better, thanks. The other big key element for me was the change in approach to sidechaining. You're using the LFO tool rather than sidechain compression. Is that a direction that you think sort of your style of music is going? Is the sidechaining becoming a bit old hat and a bit sort of bloody annoying, as I like to call it?
That's well, you've hit the nail on the head there, really, because annoying. It I don't know. I think Ableton's probably a bit easier. Logic, the sidechain routing, it sort of can be a bit convoluted, and I guess for me in the last 2 or 3 years, I've tried everything I can to make my processes simpler, so that when what's in my head comes out without me having to do this and route that and make it simple. And for me, using the LFO tool to do sidechaining just simplifies it, because I'm not having to have an extra kick drum track, and then the side effect of that is also that for better or worse, I'm using different sorts of sidechain type envelope patterns on different things. And there's a new plugin out from the Vengeance guys. I don't know if you've seen the trailers for the multi-band sidechaining.
Right, okay.
I'm pretty interested in that.
Okay. So you think sidechaining still a a sound to be used, but or is it becoming a bit? I mean, I've listened to a few records where the side tuning is so brutal. It hurts my head.
Well, I mean, I remember hearing One More Time by Daft Punk for the first time in a club. You know, this is a good few years back, and going, whoa, that's crazy. I can hardly make sense of that. Now it would probably sound tame.
Yeah.
But sidechaining is something that I think it's not for everybody, but for in the style I'm working in, 90% of the guys out there are using sidechaining, but you don't always hear it. For the man on the street, they hear, say, One More Time by Daft Punk, and they'll hear that effect.
That sucky effect.
I don't know, I've lost perspective if you can hear it in my stuff or not, but it's not so obvious. It's just a way to fit, for a bass line, it's a way to fit it around the kick drum, and there is no other way to, in a sense, there is no other way to do that. And not to get too techie about it, but I mean, I know that there's a guy, Lifelike, the sort of slightly left of centre house guy, and I don't believe he uses sidechaining, but what he does do is he's using a bus compressor, and this is my understanding, I might be wrong, he's using a bus compressor in such a way that when the kick disappears, the bass line shoots up, and he may as well be you know, so there's people who work that way.
But they're still using the sidechain effect. They're still
it's effectively sidechaining.
Yeah, they're moving all the sonic information out of the way while the kick's there. I've known you for a few years now. I haven't seen you a long time. What has changed for you over the last 5-6 years?
In a way, I've sort of gone full circle almost, in that I had a hit with 1,000 Years back in 2005, then 2006, because of that, was pretty crazy, doing a lot of DJing and producing. Then I worked on a band project, which I really enjoyed doing, and then found my way back to dance music. So in a way, it's what's come back around, but I guess I'm just enjoying doing that stuff again, and just enjoying the sort of feedback that's coming out at the moment about the new music.
I think it's kind of, there's some really brilliant stuff around it. It seems to be the scene's re-energized.
Yeah,
you know, and that's kind of exciting. And
the scene has changed. Like, I remember having ideas while working in that quote-unquote funky house area. I remember having ideas that were trancey or sort of tougher dance, and not being able to really take them anywhere, because it would involve genre hopping in a impractical.
God forbid you could genre hop.
But it's hard to genre hop. That's the other side of it, isn't it? That, you know, it takes a long time to learn how to make an amazing trance record, you know, and that's the other difficulty. Whereas so much of it has moved together now. Obviously, there's proper trance is still out there. Taking trance as one example, but so many guys like Armin van Buuren and Tiesto were playing at 128.
Yeah,
and it's all come closer together. And it's definitely re-energized it.
You can hear elements of trance in, say, Swedish House Mafia. You can hear elements of Swedish House Mafia in Armin sets. They've slowed down. Prog House. They're kind of stealing. I mean, I did a tutorial for Sonic where I literally stole from house the drums from house, the bass line from trance, the chorus from trance, the bass line from something. You know, and it was a mishmash, and that was the intention. It was future electro, we called it. What would you give advice to aspiring producers out there? I mean, you've been in the game a long time. What's the big one takeaway that you can give somebody the last 5-6 years? 7 years?
One thing.
Yeah, one thing.
Follow your heart and find the thing that makes you special. And if you can take that and run with it, that's what's going to make things happen for you. So if they had one thing to say, that would be it. I
think when follow your heart, it's almost as well would be trust instinct, to sort of trust yourself to go, no, I know this is right and this is good. And
There's a quiet voice in there somewhere that you got to listen to, and
I could serve a very loud.
Try to ignore them.
And so you're producing on Logic now. What piece of equipment could you not live without?
Apart from Logic itself.
Apart from Logic, well, we'll give you're allowed to have a computer.
I'm allowed to have a computer.
Is there a soft synth or a keyboard or a piece of outboard? Or
okay, well, I just have to say silent, I guess, simply because it's, I don't know, you can keep coming back to that synth, and you can do, obviously I can't do certain things, but you can do most sounds with it, and it always delivers. So that would be, if I had to have one thing.
And if we allowed you to, the other one would be Anna.
Yeah, of course. Good synth.
Yeah, it is very good synth. Gregory, thank you very much for taking time out of a busy day today.
Well, thanks for asking me.
You're trying to write the follow-up to, not trying to, you are writing the follow-up. Sorry, that's a terrible phrase. You are writing the follow-up to Glowing in the Dark and Top Line, so it's a very interesting day and exciting time. So I'll take up no more of your time and then just get on with the work. Thank you very much.
Yep, appreciate it, thank you. Cheers.